Hello all. Welcome to Value Plus the Family Office. Knowledge Plus for Wealth Plus presentation from our research desk. This week our hot topic is, am I taking ideal risk? But before that, let us see what happened in the financial markets last week. August WPI, that is Wholesale Price Index inflation, accelerated to 6.10% from 5.79% in July. The GDP growth may lower, saving rate also may reduce, and RBI may not be able to reduce the rate in the near term. RBI increased repo rate by 0.25 basis points and took steps to ease monetary tightening. This will increase the cost of borrowing. It can also have an adverse effect on banking, auto, and real estate sectors, and currency may appreciate. Fed maintaining a status quo stance, that is, it is not starting the tapering soon, that is, its quantitative easing program is on hold currently. So the liquidity will increase in the global market and dollar may depreciate against other currencies. The result was the Sensex rose by 531 points, that is a positive gain of 2.69% and close to 20,236 at the end of the week. FIIs remained net buyers in the equity with the net inflows of Rs 4,670 crores and net sellers in the debt segment with the net outflow of Rs 602 crores. The chart shows the price performance of different asset class. Last week, the copper and the Sensex were the major gainers. The copper appreciated by 3.39% and Sensex, as discussed, rose by 2.69%. This was after the Fed's view on quantitative easing program. Crude remained the major loser with a negative of 3.20%. Next week, the financial markets will be eyeing on the India's economy data like foreign exchange reserves, balance of payments, current account deficit, external debt data, which is to be released on 27th September 2013. We now come to our hot topic. Am I taking the ideal risk? In the previous few weeks, we had discussed about portfolio health checkup factors, goal-based asset allocation, diversification, risk profile, and so on. Coming to the conclusion, taking all these factors into consideration, an investor would have its investment objective. This investment objective could be either wealth preservation, income generation, or capital appreciation. And this objective will decide what amount of risk he is willing to take, and then he will be categorized either into a high risk, moderate risk, or low risk investor. Now let us see what are the factors, or what are the characteristics, or what are the factors which decide that in which category he should ideally be into. Let us take the first one, that is time horizon. A high risk investor have a longer time horizon, like more than 10 years. Over the time, the risk decreases. A moderate risk investor has a medium term, like 5 to 10 years. And a low risk investor has a very limited period of time, and so he cannot go for high risk, because if he goes for high risk, the capital may depreciate, which is not tolerable to him. Second factor we take as age. If the person is young, he has a longer term horizon, and so he can go for high risk. If he is middle aged, like 40 to 55 years, he can go for moderate risk because he is nearing an age of retirement. And above 55 years, he has his retirement very near, and so he should ideally be into low risk investor category. Third comes liquidity needs. Now for the high risk investor, the liquidity needs are low in short term. So even if there is a loss of capital, that will not bother him. For a moderate investor, it should be between 3 to 5 years liquidity needs, so he can earn some good amount of return with slight risk he can take because of the time horizon he has. But a low risk investor has a very high liquidity needs, and so he should not opt for high risk. Return expectations. You always be knowing that high risk, high return. So if your return expectations are higher, you should go for high risk. If your return expectations are moderate, should at par with the inflation, should grow substantially without having a much loss of capital, then you should go for moderate risk. But if your return expectations are such that without losing capital I have to earn return, then you should go for low risk, and so the return expectation should also be low. As discussed, willingness to lose capital for high risk investor is high, moderate is up to only limited exchange, and for low risk it is no loss of capital at all. And last is purpose of investment. For high risk investor, the purpose is low priority, long term or short term needs. It is a low priority, so even if the goal is not achieved, it is okay. For moderate risk investor, it is a high priority, long term needs. So the priority is high but in the long term, so he can afford to take some amount of risk to earn the returns to fulfill that priority. But for the low risk investor, the priority is also high and the time is also very less, and so he should go for low risk. This is the ideal factors which we should consider while taking the risk. But for example, let us take that you are 20 years old, but you have a perception that I don't want to lose a single rupee in my investment. So despite of being young, you will not be a high risk investor and you should opt for low risk investment. So all these factors will again depend upon your willingness and the tolerance, which we had discussed in the past few weeks. Now let us see what are the characteristics generally of an investor, and the characteristics which is required when you do some investment. First is patience. Success does not come overnight. There can be ups and downs, and so you need to be patient when you want to achieve something. Second is courage. Hiding in a cave will not get you very far. You want to become a crorepati, you already are a crorepati, but again, to earn good amount of returns, you will have to invest something in a high risk, and you need some courage for that, to opt for that. Third is emotional stability. Separate the fact from the entangled web of human emotions. Everybody knows that equity gives good returns in the long term, but when the portfolios don't perform in the short term, the emotions come into picture and you redeem the portfolio. But you need to emotionally stable, you need to be patient to earn the returns, and you need to concentrate on the fact and not just on the emotions. And last is willingness to sacrifice diversification. Diversification is important, but more the diversification, less the returns, as the risk of going down reduces with diversification. So sometimes you need to concentrate and go for a high risk investment to earn a potentially substantial profit. These are the sample asset allocation. The aggressive investor will opt for more amount of equities, alternative investment like global investments like impact funding, international equity, international real estate, etc. He will less opt for debt funds because he is an aggressive investor. He can take the risk to earn the returns. The moderate risk investor will go into balanced approach. He will have equities also. He will also have alternative investment, but up to the less amount. For example, the aggressive investor was having 25% of alternative investment. Moderate will have 10% like commodities, arts, global investment as said. He will have all these flavors in the portfolio. For the conservative investor, debt is the major portion because he wants to retain the capital, wealth preservation. He will also have equities like mid cap, small cap with a very low exposure. He will not have alternative investment in his portfolio because he is not a high risk investor. Thank you. Please share your valuable feedback on our email ID info@valueplusinv.com. Thank you once again.